So I'm on my way to a job right now, and just kind of right now marinating in my thoughts. What do I want to make a video on? And we have the topic. For those of you that went to school, went to math class, remember, I think this was Algebra 2, but I want to use this as an example. You don't need to be in Algebra 2, okay? You're still going to understand this. Remember in Algebra 2 math class, where we learned a certain equation, for example, the quadratic equation. Once you learn this quadratic equation, which I think it was a squared plus b squared equals c squared or something along those lines. Once you learn this quadratic equation, it's almost like obtaining the key to unlock all the doors, aka questions, that were gonna come up in the forthcoming lessons, right? So I learned this quadratic equation, then I get tested, I have questions that come up. I'm able to use this equation to solve these questions. Now here's the fun part. Let's take this example and let's apply it to life. A lot of people are taking shit and just throwing it on the wall and hoping that it sticks. While this will still work, it takes not only twice, if not 3 times the amount of effort, it takes twice the amount of time for you to get to your destination. Now, mind you, we're not worried about how long it takes us to get to the destination, but we like to enjoy the journey. So I don't know if you like to enjoy the journey of throwing shit on the wall, but there's a better way, right? A lot of us will go into life, we'll start new endeavors, and we won't really figure out how to facilitate our thoughts, how to facilitate our feelings, how to facilitate a plan to get to the destination that we want to arrive at. Well, this is where that quadratic equation comes in. Because when I understand myself, when I understand how to inspire myself, when I understand how to commit to certain obligations, to certain desires in the way, here's the key, in the way that suits me, then I formulate my own quadratic equation. Therefore, I'm able to get anywhere I want to get in life. If I don't understand that I need to wake up, clean my home, I need to do some exercise, I need to meditate, I need to take a shower, get dressed, I need to go and work and do some service. If I don't understand that this is part of my equation for me to solve anything, aka for me to attain any desire, for me to become anything that I want to be, if I don't understand my quadratic equation, I'm not going to be able to get a fraction of what I want or where I want to be in this lifetime. That's why it's so crucial. It's so crucial to understand your own quadratic equation. I was talking in one of my past videos that the same way that this person on my right is motivated, I don't get motivated like that. I'm not inspired how this person is, right? And it's important and crucial for a lot of us to understand this, because a lot of us get cookie cutter directions. A lot of us get instructed through propaganda. A lot of us get instructed through some of our family and friends who have also succeeded or have had some type of success, but nonetheless, they didn't even have their own quadratic equation. They did what is called grinding. Oh, I'm grinding today. Yep, I'm on that grind, man. Grind means to wear down. The only time I'm grinding is when I'm doing kick flips and ollies. Otherwise, I don't say I'm grinding, because truly, if it requires tremendous amounts of effort, you're doing it wrong, right? If you have a desire, right, that you truly want to have in your life, right? The fact of the matter is you have the desire, you have that feeling. That means you already are halfway there because you have the desire. So once you have that, it's your job, it's your obligation, it's your life purpose to figure out how to reel that in from a thought into reality. Because newsflash, this car, this laundry basket, this watch, all of these objects in front of you, everything that you use every day was a thought before it came into existence. There's a magic to this world. There's a magic to this world. And if you haven't noticed, it's all about the mindset. That's why we're talking about this quadratic equation. Because if I can figure out how to operate my system, that's between me and me. The only way you're going to be able to operate your system, the only way you're going to be able to hear, to understand how to operate your system is if you silence your mind. You can listen to all the Esther Hicks, all the Abraham Hicks. You can listen to all the gurus. You can listen to all the coaches. But at the end of the day, they're just giving you their equation. And although it may work for some of you, it's still going to be a struggle, because what is true to you is true to you. Sure, for granted, you know, these gurus will tell you to meditate. These gurus will tell you to do the simple things. Eat well, exercise. Those are given. We kind of all know that. But when it comes to how do you daydream? How do you brainstorm? How do you write out a plan? How do you start moving forward physically to the dreams that you have in your mind? And I don't like to say dreams because I don't believe that they're just dreams. These are real experiences that are in energetic forms, right? And again, I'll say this one more time. It's our obligation to decode it and bring it out into the world. But I don't just believe, I truly know that it is not as hard as it seems, because once we start to understand our equation, the moment we start to understand the equation, the moment everything falls into our lap. Because truthfully, it's not about anything falling in our lap. It's about the equation. It's about living life and knowing what you're doing. It's about clarity. It's about feeling good. It's about being tuned in, tapped in, turned on. It's about really understanding that, wow, just the fact that I get to be here, I'm already winning. Just the fact that you get to have this experience, just the fact that you are wired to have a problem and you are wired to try to understand it so you don't have to go through that again. Just the fact that you're wired that way is already a blessing, because a lot of people have lived on this realm, on this plane, and they've just been running into the wall, trying to throw shit on the wall. There's people that I know that are still doing that, just running into the wall. And can you imagine this whole life, you don't even understand, you've never understood how to understand yourself, understand how to operate? Because again, it's not about the desires. It's not about grinding hard and working hard until you get to where you want to get to. It's about understanding your pace, understanding who you are, and just flowing that way, effortlessly. Because if you look at nature, there's no sprinkler system out there. There's nobody out there tending that. That just grows naturally, effortlessly. Nobody is out there planting. Nobody's out there pulling weeds. Everything just grows out there naturally. We're no different than that. Why have we been taught that we have to grind, we have to work hard, we have to effort? We have to never give up. Why are we wired that way? Because it isn't true. The true way is to understand yourself from the inside out and let everything come to you. We're magnets. We're magnets. They don't know how the heart beats. They don't know how the heart beats. They still are discovering things in the human body and the human mind today. This is a piece of technology that is priceless, okay? So do me a favor. I want you to type into the comments, I am going to understand my equation. Type into the comments, I am ready to live. Type into the comments that I am ready to live. I am ready to live. I am tuned in, tapped in, turned on. Because it's your time. It's your time. It's always been your time. But see, when you don't know that, it's like the door's open and you can't see it though. You don't see that the door's open. You know, the door's open. Sure, there may be a screen door on that front door, but you can go right through that. But you still see that, right? Just go. Just go. You don't need to figure it all out right now. You don't need to figure it all out right now. You don't. Matter of fact, you don't want to, because once you figure it all out, you're probably gonna die. That's when you figure it all out in your deathbed. You know, when you get out of this flesh suit and you go back into the astral, you decide whether or not, you know, you want to go into the reincarnation moon, or you want to go and explore some other realm. So at the end of the day, instead of trying, figure out that equation that works for you. And here's a hint. If you're this far, congratulations, because you're going to get a hint. The hint, how you know you are figuring out your equation, is by how you feel. How you feel when you approach this, how you feel when you think and take thoughts this way versus this way, how you feel when you're around certain people, when you're doing certain things. If we take heed to our emotions, emotion, energy, motion, energy and motion, right? When you take heed to your emotion, it's going to tell you how you feel about a certain circumstance, a certain thought. You're able to understand, digest, and you're able to make true decisions versus making decisions out of fear, because that fear is just telling you, hey, you're not thinking with your inner being. You're not thinking in your power. You're thinking against yourself. You're thinking in a way that disempowers you. And the reason why you feel bad, the reason why you feel negativity, you feel fear, the reason why you feel lost is because your true self, right? That conscious that you feel, that gut feeling is right here. And your ego, your mind, your human mind is like, oh my God, everything's wrong. But your gut is like, no, we're good. That's what fear is. That's what disappointment is. That's what grief is, right? But when you're feeling good, you're right here, because your inner being, your conscious, is never going to be down here. That's why when you hit rock bottom, that's why when you hit the wall, that's why when you get discouraged, you always, whether it be that same day or a couple days later, you always find yourself rising back up, especially that next day. You always get back to that vantage point, right? Where it's satisfaction. So anyways, I know this was a little bit more of an intense one, but it is true, man. Understand your equation, then you'll be able to solve anything that you come into contact with. That's why it's called your equation. Okay? Love and light to all, and to all love and light. Forever out.